Welcome to Firstpost. Today we have with us the cast of the Superboys of Malegaon, and we have filmmaker Reema Kagti and Zoya Akhtar. So, how much of cinematic liberty was taken for this particular movie?
It is a feature film, and in that sense, we had to dramatize. So we have taken certain liberties, but nothing is an absolute lie. It has come from research, it's come from the truth. And sometimes what we've tried to do is evoke a sense of what was going on at Nasir or what Nasir was actually trying to do, as opposed to real life incidents. But by and large, they're all of this is coming from the truth. Nothing is really made up in that sense.
And I guess it was based on, inspired from the Superman of Malegaon, also, which was a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary that we've all watched. We all love to the point where we've given it a shout out in the film. But I think let Zoya tell you, because it was really Zoya who kind of started this journey.
Yeah, we saw
and
the
why
I
she
the
thought.
documentary and I loved it. But the documentary is about the making of the film, and I saw it, loved it, and 2 or 3 years later, I was at the Ocean Film Festival in Delhi, and I recognized Nasir across the room, and he recognized me, and then I went up to him and spoke with him, and then we became friends, kind of friends, and we stayed in touch, and he'd come to Bombay and call me, and I met him a couple of times, and I was quite intrigued with him, and then he started telling me about his life, and I realized that whatever his life was that got him to start making films and then led up to him making Superman was a very, very hugely moving story that could have been made into a film. So this is actually 10 years of his life before he made Superman.
And Adarsh, did you meet Nasir? Like, what was I'm sure you must have met, but what was your first impression, since it's based on a real character? There is a lot of responsibility also, right?
Yeah, my first impression was that he was a very charming, funny man who was constantly cracking jokes and loved telling stories. I actually got to spend a lot of time with Nasir Bhai. I was in Malegaon for a couple of weeks. We ended up making a film together while I was in Malegaon, and I documented the entire process. We went to places that Nasir and his friends would actually hang at all those years ago. Certain specific locations, the cafe where they would hang out and discuss and ideate was a place called Adarsh Hotel. And similarly, there was a field on the outskirts of the town where Nasir would go and sit under a tree when he would want to be away from everything. So it was a very strangely spiritually awakening process while we were doing it, and it's so hard to do that as a person. I feel like when you're divulging so much about yourself to a new person. I'm so grateful that he trusted me with everything and made me meet all the people from his life, from his social circle, family, friends, everybody who helped make him the man he is today.
And Vineet and Shashank, all the characters play such an important role in making his dream come true, Nasir's dream come true. So, what do you have to say about your bit? Each and every, that is the beauty of cinema today. Each and every character play an important role, and it's not that everybody's supporting. It is actually a combined team effort.
Yeah, I mean, that's life. Life is a collaboration. In life, there's not one character. You have all sorts of people, and that's what makes life life. I think that's what makes any movie a movie as well. That being said, it's about Nasir's vision and his limitations, and him gathering this community and trying to uplift this community. So I think it's a stunning film to be a part of. It's a community film, and that's all I have to say on the subject. Boond boond se sagar banta hai, or aisa kuch.
Both of you, Vineet and Shashank, both your characters are very important. Vineet, you play the intellectual bit of the thing. Like, you don't want to go by masala cinema or kind of movies. You want to get into the depth of the movies and make it more. So what do you have to say about this as a person? How do you relate to the character? Do you find similarities?
हाँ, कुछ सिमिलरिटीज हैं. जैसे मैंने अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ में थोड़ा सा लिखा है, मुक्काबाज लिखी थी, कुछ गाने वाने लिख लेता हूँ, खाली समय में थोड़ा लिखता हूँ. तो वो एक सिमिलरिटीज थी। फिर एज एन असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर मैंने 5-6 फिल्में की हैं, तो वो बिहाइंड द कैमरा वो एक एक्सपीरियंस था। लेकिन यहाँ खूबसूरती बहुत अलग है, बिकॉज इमेच्योर जो ये पूरा बंच ऑफ बॉयज हैं जिनको सिनेमा बनाना नहीं पता, तो उसमें उसकी वजह से बहुत फन एलिमेंट ऐड होता है, तो कुछ सिमिलरिटीज ये हैं। जिद्दी थोड़ा मैं भी हूँ, जिद्दी फारूक जाफरी भी थे। उन और उसकी वजह से मजा आया, अच्छा लगा। एंड ये सब कुछ शुरू किया नासिर शेख ने, तो थैंक्स टू हिम। उन्होंने जो लाइन आती है ना कि हम दीवानों को तारीख में जगह दी है तूने, तो वो एक्चुअली उन्हीं की वजह से ये हो पाया।
Have you all ever noticed this power play among friends, Zoya, when you made this movie? It shows a lot of power play among friends. Nasir wants to take the whole of the credit. Have you ever noticed this while you made a film or something like that?
Oh no, I'm very very lucky. I work with people that are very secure, and but I have seen it in the industry. I have seen it happen to people in the industry. I've seen it happen to writers. I've seen it happen to. I've seen it. Wherever people can steal credit or add their own credit to another person's job, they do so. But I cannot speak to it myself because it's never really happened with me.
Are you also very choosy with the characters or the movies that you want to direct? Both of you, but I've seen very different movies, different genres coming out, different, each movie is very different from the other.
Yeah, I think we are audience before we are filmmakers. So we love movies, we love different kinds of stories. It's also challenging to step into and create a new world every time, and a new milieu that kind of wakes you up a little bit. What am I going to do with this? That feeling is very nice. And we are picky because you spend at least 2-3 years of your life, from the writing stage to the releasing. You're spending 2 or 3 years of your life with that story. So it has to be something that holds you. That milieu has to excite you. Otherwise, why bother?
अभी
Yeah,
रिसेंट
and
एक
I mean,
इंटरव्यू
I
में
think there's a lot of ideas that do fascinate you, but the ones that I think make it through are the ones that really grab you and have that longevity,
अभी
Sorry.
रिसेंट एक इंटरव्यू में जोया ने ये बोला, मैं देख रहा हूँ कि लोग खोज के अपनी फिल्मों का सिक्वल बना देते हैं। जोया ने ये बोला, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा, दोबारा तभी होगी जब एक्चुअली मुझे वो कहानी मिलेगी। जबकि अगर ये फिल्म ऐसी है कि इसे बस अनाउंस करो, टेबल पे सब कुछ है बनाने के लिए, स्क्रिप्ट को छोड़ के।
I think how much has Naseer changed over a period of time since you've recently met him, Zoya? Since you really recently met the character, the main protagonist of the movie, played by Adarsh.
Nasir. How much has he changed? Well, he's changed as much as we have. We met, 12 to 14 years ago. So everyone's older, wiser, a little less bombastic, more mature, more comfortable with themselves. I think it's been. I mean, it's like I'm a filmmaker, he's a filmmaker, she's a filmmaker. We've all grown up. So yeah, but that hunger is there, you know. Like he wants to make a bigger film now, like in Malegaon. He wants to work in Malegaon, but he's already writing another. So that hunger, the compulsion to actually create is still there,
Good. And Adarsh, when you met Nasir, did he ever mention that he still, or does he ever wants to come to Mumbai or into the real film industry here, the Bollywood?
No, I think he wants to bring Mumbai there, and that is what
that has been the whole aim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he was talking to me about, sorry to interrupt you, but he was talking to me about, do you think there'll be some Bollywood actors who'll be interested in coming to Malegaon and making a film with me? So he's all into, importing to Malegaon, and that's what makes him so special.
Yeah.
And I think that's his truth, right? That's the life he's lived. Those are the people that he's surrounded by. That's the language he knows. That's the culture, the geography, everything. So it just makes so much sense that a person would try to tell a story about all the things that he's grown up around and is familiar with and he loves so deeply.
The appetite for good cinema is increasing with the audience evolving. What do you have to say? It is quite a pressure on you all as actors, as craftsmen, as directors, even as writers, everybody, right? So how much of this do you take it as a challenge or take it as quite a challenge for yourself?
For me, it's opportunity.
Yeah, I see it as a tremendous
How nice.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And honestly, from the time that we've come onto the film, whether it's us at Tiger Baby or at XL or people at Prime Video or Amazon MGM Studios, this incidentally happens to be their first Hindi film release. And everybody kind of really, really believed in the film. We are looking at an international release on the 28th. The film will simultaneously release here and in several other countries. And I'm just really grateful for this opportunity, actually, because I honestly believe that if people like the film and it's got good word of mouth, it will do something that we'll be happy about.
When I watched this movie at the Red Sea Film Festival, it was completely house full. So, what is your expectation when the movie gets released in India? Because theatrical releases is going through a little low phase. What do you
Yeah, we know that, and it is a limited release in India in that sense.
Good.
So everybody's not. I think nobody is looking at that. Oh, it's going to have that big opening number. That's not the
The
expectation.
box office or something.
But the expectation is that people like you will encourage audience to go in. The expectation is a very good word of mouth, because till now, whoever's seen it, whoever we are meeting or whoever, it's just been overwhelming, the response. So, and I think the audience today does believe a word of mouth. That's the most reliable advertising I think there is. So, fingers crossed.
Adarsh, Shashank, and Vineet, all the best for the movie. But I just want to know, how much do you relate to the journey? Because his struggle was also from a small town. What was your struggle like becoming an actor?
मालेगांव के इन लोगों ने तो मतलब मुंबई ही मालेगांव ले आई. हम में इतना दम नहीं था. बनारस में मैं मुंबई नहीं ला सका. मैं मुंबई आया और आई एम रियली हैप्पी कि सारी दौड़ भाग के बाद अच्छी फिल्म का हिस्सा बनने का मौका मिल रहा है. अच्छे डायरेक्टर्स का भरोसा मिलता है और डायरेक्टर्स जैसे अभी रीमा ने दूसरी बार मुझे मौका दिया है, तो और अच्छा लगता है जब डायरेक्टर्स रिपीट करते हैं, प्रोडक्शन हाउस रिपीट करते हैं, तो ऐसा लगता है पहले का ठीक था, तो मैं जो कर रहा हूँ उसको और बेहतर करूं.
Adarsh, do you want to add to this?
Well, the struggle is only when I'm not working on a script or when I'm not telling a story or not playing a character. I feel like I'm very compulsive in that sense, and I see that similarity between me and Nasir, where I like to trip on a world that I get to sort of inhabit and then kind of live in it and like thrive in it every time I get the chance to play a character. So the struggle is really, what do I do with my time when I'm not doing that? But thankfully, there are other things also that I'm interested in. But yeah, no, it's been a beautiful journey. I'm extremely thankful and I have a lot of gratitude for for everything that's been happening, all the wonderful opportunities I've had in the last 15 years, and all the wonderful characters that I've had a chance to play. It's been amazing.
Shashank, do you want to add to it? Or
I couldn't put it better than what Vineet said, that Nasir brought Bombay to Malegaon, and here we are. We came to Bombay. It's a different romance. It's a different magic, and it's a blessing. I really wanted to do what I'm doing today since I was a little boy. So for me, it's a blessing. It feels like a magical journey, and I wish to keep not taking it for granted every step of the way. And hopefully, I'll keep meeting incredible people like these in this film, and just keep making films and having fun making films, and never take ourselves too seriously. And I think that's what Shafiq and Nasir and Faro sort of represent to me, someone who wanted to make a film, but they never took themselves so seriously that they put themselves on a platform. They did it just because they love to do it. And they spoke about Malegaon, and they spoke about the problems while using film as a medium. So I think it's magical here. It's an amazing journey.
thank you so much for your time, Zoya, Reema, and the Superboys of Malegaon. I'm hoping there's going to be a big house full again. And I love the movie, and I will spread the word. That's a brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Lachmi.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.